Hey guys, we're going to be doing page 36. 36, if you answer all of these problems, you spell out a sentence. Like if you get the answer to this one, you just go, oh, C is that one. So then you find the number. Oh, if it's that one, I write C right there. It's a fun fact, and I'll give you a hint. It has to do with the ocean. That's my hint. Okay, so they're hoping that you can maybe try to do some of these problems, I know it's a lot, in your head. And that sounds really hard, but I'm going to show you how that might be possible. A lot of these problems, notice how 99, 98, 99, 98, 98, 99. If you see a problem like that, here's what they're hoping you can do. They're hoping that when you see a problem like this, you think 99 is super close to 100. 8,324 plus 99. Well, 8,324 plus 100, I could do that. I just add 1 to the 100 spot, right? So you used to have 300s, now you have 400s. It'd be 8,324, 8,424. But here's the thing. If I add 100, I just added too much. So you got to subtract 1 at the very end. So notice how this 8,324 plus 100, well then I just add the 100 to that 100 spot. So that bumps that up to 4. So it's 8,424. So in this case, if I add 100 in my head and I get that number, I just know, okay, but I just added too much. I got to take 1 off now. So it's going to be 1 less. So then you subtract 1 at the very end. So it's 8,320, not 4, but 3. So you just round that second, the number that says 99, round it to the nearest 100, and then add or subtract. And that makes it easier. So let's try another one. 6,426 minus 999. Do you notice how this 999 is only 1 away from 1,000? I would think, what if that was 1,000? Then what would happen? Well, if I subtracted 1,000, you've only got to look at the 1,000 spot. That just goes down 1, right? You used to have 6,000s, now you've got 5,000s. So the answer is going to be basically 5,426. And if you just said that, you'd only be 1 off. But the thing is we're not actually subtracting 1,000 for the real answer. We're subtracting 999. So we just over subtracted. We subtracted too much. So now you got to add 1 back at the end. I say, okay, wait, so now I got to add 1 back. So it turns that into a 7. So just think, am I adding too much or adding too little? Am I subtracting too much or subtracting too little? And then just at the very end, you do like a little bit of change, a little fudging with the numbers. Okay, so 5, you might also see some that look like this with 8s. So 5,000 minus 998, notice how that's really close to 1,000? Do you know what 5,000 minus 1,000 is? If you got 5,000s, you minus 1,000, then you got 4,000. So now that I got 4,000, I just have to kind of change it around a little bit because I'm almost there. So I just over subtracted, right? If you subtract too much, at the very end, you've got to add it back. If you subtract too much, you add it back. So it's actually going to be 4,002. But if I just said 4,000, I'd be pretty dang close because 5,000 minus 1,000 is 4,000. But I just subtracted a little too much. So at the very end, I'm like, oh yeah, wait, I subtracted too much. So I got to add it back. So see if you can do that when possible. There's one that's like 10,000 minus 398. I see that right now. That's really close to 10,000 minus 400. Or there's one 984 plus 799. That's really close to 984 plus 800. And then at the very end, you'd make the little change. So when you can, see if you can do that kind of thing. But you don't have to, but it will save you some time. And then I'll just go over really quickly how to do the standard way of adding these. So if you see a problem like well, I'll just do one for you here. 4,725 plus 89. If you just line them all up, you can just add them that way too. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Make sure they're lined up properly. 5 plus 9 is 14 ones. The second number always goes on the bottom, 14, 1, 4, because it's a 10 and a 4. So the 10s go up top. Add these up. Now we're in the tens. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 8 is 11. Second number goes in the bottom. First number goes on the top. Now we're in our hundreds. 1 plus 7 is 8. Now we're in our thousands. So this one, I just made it a little easier for you here because check it out. This one here is 4,814. So it's G. So I go on the bottom and I find 4,814. There it is. And I write a G right there. Because see, there's a G. And let's do a subtraction one too, just to remember how to do those big subtractions. Let's do, well, let's try this one here. The third one. 10,000. We have a bunch of zeros, you know it's going to be hard. Minus 8,492. Okay. These are going to be tough. So, when you see a bunch of zeros like that, you can't minus anything from a 0 when you line them up like that. They need to turn all these guys into tens. So you've got 0 ones, but we need 10. And we got 0 there and 0 there, 0 there, 0. It's all just a bunch of zeros. So we need to start breaking up some of these bills. The only bill we really have here is one $10,000 bill. So when I see this, when I see a 0, I just go next to it. I'm like, oh, I can't do it. Can't do it, can't do it. Okay, I can get one here. So I'm going to break this one up, and I'm going to get 10 here. Okay, now I've got 10. Got $10,000 bills. And then this guy's like, I will need some bills too. So he's like, okay, let me loan you some. So he breaks up himself. Now he's only got 9. And this guy's got 10. Now we've got $9,000 bills, 10 $100 bills. And the tens are like, hey, I need some tens. I've got 0 here. I've got to loan some to the ones. So the hundreds say, okay, here you go. And now we've got 9 hundreds and 10 tens. And now the ones are like, hey, help me out here. I need some ones. So the tens say, okay, no problem. And they keep, like, I'll just be 9 tens and 10 ones. Now you got 10 ones, and now you can probably do it. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 8 is 1. See, that was a tough one. So when you see a bunch of zeros, you got to kind of, first you've got to get some bills to do anything. You can't do anything with zeros. So you're like, okay, well, okay, I can break that one up. Think about which bill you can break up. So that is 1,508. That was this one here. 1,508. So T, I find 1,508 down here. There it is. So that's T. So I'm going to write a T right there. So I gave you guys a head start. So please try to do page 36. Remember, when you can, try to do that mental math trick by adding 100 or minusing 100 and then change it at the end. But you can also always just do the old standard way too. Page 36.